Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Butterfly Man.
me, Banshee,
It's
with my
really,
lion's hat. Okay, I admit, I'm not very gothy today, but Mr. O liked my owl shirt, so I thought I'd wear my lion's hat to go along with it.
pastel goth.
Yes, goth light. Consider Banshee goth light. There we go.
All right, so here we are at Goth Tarot, and it is the beginning of the month. It's November 5th. So, in addition to being any number of other memorial recognitions, it is also the first episode of Goth Tarot.
That is correct, Mr. O. And for the being the first episode, I am here. Half
Right.
of me anyway.
And we've been doing this for several months now. So, what we do is we select a card from a great set. Go ahead.
The Cries of the Souls. The Cries of the Souls
Why don't you talk
Oracle,
about it for a minute and what we do?
which is by Isabel Surf, and it's illustrated by Daphne Sabane. And I think here it's the perfect deck for Mr. O's show. It really dives deep into issues of that we might want to explore so far as shadow work goes, and we combine the working here with tarot cards in order to give you an enhanced way of dealing with the shadow.
The important point is that the card we pull from the Cries of the Souls Oracle sort of gives us a pattern to work with for the entire month. Subsequent episodes may not interface exactly with that, except for one exception. We pull an update card to that from the Ethereal Shadowwork Tarot, and we use that as the update before we go into any other shadow issue matters or things.
So this is a monthly shadow working that gets updated on Mr. O's regular shows, along with his looking at other shadow issues.
Right, so here we go.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to shuffle first, Mr. O. You can cut.
And of course, thanks for tuning in. I hope everybody had a good Samhain or Halloween or Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos.
Or Muertes, I don't remember, sorry.
Muertos. All right. I'm not saying my Spanish is perfect, though. So happy November, everybody. It's now November. Gosh, where did the year go? Some of us may want these next few years to kind of fly by, but seems to be going pretty fast for someone like me. All right.
All right, so the first card is considered the Dark Shadows. What is haunting you this month? What is the main point of shadow work for the month, pretty much?
Ooh, and it is called The Dark Passenger. The Dark Passenger. And it's number 8. I'm going to keep it out there. There we go. Number 8. The Dark Passenger. I create a sympathetic inner dialogue. That is an affirmation we will revisit. And so the Dark Passenger, what could this be? Okay, and remember, when we read this card, it is speaking to us all as if it is that shadow within us. As soon as you hear my cold, monotonous, and negative voice, all your senses are on alert. I activate your sympathetic nervous system, and you find yourself filled with dread. I constantly remind you of your failures and make you think you are alone in the world and can only depend on yourself. I am the voice of your dark side, your suffering, which envelops you in dismal and painful energy. I don't believe in beautiful surprises, happiness, or love. Wow, that's pretty heavy. So basically, this is where you feel, I think, there are some of us who always look on the bright side of life, and then there are some of us who focus on the doom and gloom side of life. And I almost feel that that's what this is talking about here. It reminds you of your failures, makes you think that, you are alone. Nobody accepts you. Nobody appreciates you because you are a failure. And you suffer in silence. It puts you in a dismal, painful place.
If you think about it, this kind of persona or mindset is actually, for whatever reason, celebrated a little bit in some Americana culture kind of things. I can remember one or two cartoon images of somebody who's walking down the street and they have a dark cloud following them or a cloud raining on them, or certain cartoon characters I used to watch who would always be pessimistic and say, it'll never work. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of that too, is that the idea that in this sense, maybe the shadow is slightly normalized by, culture's ideas towards making it seem to be normal to be depressed or pessimistic. Am I saying that the right way?
I like that. No, I like that. I think let's move on, though, to Dark Whispers, what you need to know. And this will bring up something from the supplement section of this card, as well as a tarot card. So why don't you start shuffling, because I'll shuffle too. And
Right.
this is the only time we're shuffling the tarot deck.
Right. All the other cards we pull from this deck are from that shuffle.
And so let me check this out. Sorry, I lost the page. But there, I'm close. Dark Passenger. Okay. I am with you because you grew into who you are today. Your daily life was filled with great fear, immense anger, and considerable trauma. When you were younger, you considered serenity, love, and happiness as distant pipe dreams. You grew up flat on the ground. Yet I know you did everything you could to get back up. I protect you from what you don't know, and when you let yourself be led by me, you stay focused on only yourself and never confront your fears. I halt every action aimed at change. That's how we who may have suffered trauma as children, whether it was sexual abuse, whether it was physical or verbal abuse or bullying at school, this is how we hold it within inside of us and how it paints our entire life.
So to some degree, this talks about people who literally grow up this way and they have no greater expectations of themselves or of anything very good happening in their life. And
Right.
you can see this too as something that can, besides maybe why the culturalisms abound in this sense, is because it's a generational kind of trauma too.
So let's see what the tarot says, what we need to know about this further. I have a feeling about this. I wonder what's going to come up.
What else we need to know?
Yes. Okay, Mr. O. All right. Take it where you will. Sorry.
Well,
There you go.
I know. And it's the reversed Page of Pentacles.
Okay. Okay. The reversed Page of Pentacles. What's really interesting to me about this card is that what you need to know is a couple of things. You need to ground yourself more, number one, to deal with this. But number two, what you need to know about this cloud that continues to hang over you in your life here is that you yourself are not willing to work on this. You're willing to accept this. Right now, you're kind of accepting it because you really don't want to confront those fears.
What's the name of that initial card again?
Dark Passenger.
Dark Passenger. And so I kind of rolled with the idea that maybe there was something generational about this too, that it's a kind of thing that could be handed down from, parent to child. And I sort of see a little bit more of that with the Page of Pentacles in a way, mostly because I think of what you just said, about an acceptance going on here. And that sometimes, this does happen covertly or complicitly is a better word within family structures. And when you think about very dysfunctional families, it's easy to see this too. So I may be leaning in a little bit to that, but I think it's valid.
Well, I think it's valid for some of us. I think that there may be some who are carrying some ancestral uh, traumas, and then there are some of us who are experiencing physical, emotional, mental traumas in their childhoods that they have carried this on further in their lives. And maybe some of that doesn't always stem from there, but it could. Some of it may stem from domestic abuse, from spousal relationships. Maybe they had a perfect childhood, but suddenly they ended up with the wrong person. But again, another part of that may be that because you were abused and hurt as a child, you seem to bring to you more of those kind of experiences in adulthood.
Well, I know in some situations, they say that certain criminalistic behavior in incarcerated settings is the perpetuation of an abuse of sorts that maybe these people, mostly men, may have felt in their childhoods.
All right, we're on the dark drama now.
Dark drama.
How others or outside events may be inadvertently triggering this.
And that's just a pull from the deck, so we're going to go right ahead and do that. Once again, the Air Ethereal Shadowwork Tarot. And what do you got? Uh-oh.
I think this is very interesting. It's the Empress. It's the Empress upright. And I understand why she's here, because people want you to feel better. People want to support and help you, but you don't necessarily want that. You kind of push it away because you're afraid to confront all of this within you. And so their idea that they have to heal you maybe triggering you because you want to stick in that mindset of there can be no help. There can be no good things coming to you.
Right. People do want to see you flourish, and maybe they have their own reasons for that too. Maybe they sense, where your creativity really lies or where your potential lies to produce things. And so that may, like Banshee said, interfere with how you see yourself going too. Maybe you like having, the drama for yourself in your own way.
Well, remember the one thing this card said was that they don't, this shadow says, I don't believe in beautiful surprises, happiness, or love. And see, the Empress is about love. People who care about you, want to support you, show you some loving kindness, but you're kind of
and it could be like what we
suspicious
with another shadow too, where you close off parts of your heart chakra or other, apparata you have so that you can't receive that.
You may believe something is behind this. There's ulterior motives, and you just don't trust that true love and compassion exists.
I think that's the big point. So the dark truth.
What must you accept? And this is the Cries of the Soul warning plus one tarot card.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can force me into silence. I am with you because your system of distrust is breaking down and you're experiencing events that invite you to trust, love. Like the Empress here. Trust, let me repeat that. I am with you because your system of distrust is breaking down and you're experiencing events that invite you to trust, love, and share in positive ways. I appear to activate your armor and urge you to be wary of all positive things, turning off music and lights and telling everyone to go home. But you can open yourself up to others, yourself, and life. You can be who you are with passion. Be aware of all of this. Don't let me snuff out the beautiful light that is emanating from you. I am not the voice of truth. Right, right. Let's pull that tarot card to go along with this. Justice. Justice is reversed.
There is another planet. And
Well, I kind of think here, I'm going to move the, can I, yeah, I have room. I'm going to move these up just slightly. Is there going to be room? There probably is not. Well, I'll overlap a little bit. That works. Okay, we got it. All right, justice reversed. That does kind of work because you can't believe that anybody wants to treat you with respect or equality. This is again shutting down, that sense. But you need justice, you need balance, you need equilibrium here. And that's the warning. If you allow this shadow to stop you from receiving the authentic love being offered by the Empress, you're just going to continue the cycle of pain.
I'm fond of the saying, "Fair is another planet," and of course, in this sense, it's not exactly about making somebody understand a scope of service. This is really maybe somebody being resigned to bad faith practices in some sense, and that they either feel that that's just the way it is, or that maybe even subconsciously they deserve that they are not capable of seeing other people enacting empress energies towards them, of trying to heal them or help them be better.
So, what you must accept is how your shadow is blocking you from understanding that, yes, there is bad things that happen in the world, and to yourself. But, there's also good to balance those scales. You can't just let the scales sit on that one side there. You must balance them and recognize that there are truly some good people out there who want to support you.
Life is a pendulum. Things always are going to be in motion, going one way or the other.
So the dark gift?
The dark gift, the hidden ability, power, resources, or aspects of yourself that can help you cope with what is haunting you this month. And for this, we only draw a tarot card.
It's the Hanged Man reversed.
The dark gift as Hangman reverse.
Ability, power, or aspects of self.
You want to make 2 rows maybe?
Well, what I was thinking of doing was moving that here.
And maybe just up a little bit too.
And up a little more. Can I do this one more?
Move the one that's the farthest to the left a little further to the left. Yeah. There you go. There you go. And see, you have plenty of room then for other cards.
Okay. Well, I thought I'd just put it here.
Okay, that's fine. So let's go.
The Hanged Man.
Reverse.
Well, I think as a dark gift with hidden ability, power, resources is that maybe you're tired. Maybe, this has been so draining to you, you're starting to get tired of hanging on this tree, refusing to accept, the wisdom that all is not bad and harmful in life. Maybe the gift is an acceptance that if you take a look at the broader perspective that the hangman requires you to do, instead of just wallowing in your beliefs, then you can make progress.
The Hangman reverse sort of represents the idea you have to make a significant change of some sort to at least mentally or spiritually walk in some other person's shoes or some other ideas that maybe you normally don't do. And maybe then you have to realize that your gift is to be able to relate to some of this and realize there are people who are trying to help you. There are situations that are not totally locking you into a dark fate.
And final, wow, this was pretty deep. And finally, the dark destiny or dark light message. So this is the integration of shadow and light. So we're going to look at how to move forward, and then we're going to pull a tarot and repeat the affirmation.
All right.
I am aware of the suffering I have caused you and the struggle I created within you. You may find that cognitive behavioral therapy techniques are an excellent tool to enable you to listen to me differently, as they can help transform my shrieks of despair into barely audible whispers. When I speak to you, write a letter to yourself detailing the exact opposite of what I'm telling you. For example, if I tell you you're a loser, write that you are an incredible person. I am the voice of your past pains, not of your destiny. Your destiny is something you build day by day. And I'm going to stop right here because that is a real excellent exercise. Because, you know, when people hurt you and people hurt you physically, you know, like they treat you like you're not human, you're their property or whatever, you know, write that letter to yourself and say, I have a right to happiness. I have the right to be treated with respect and not be treated with abuse. You know, do the exact opposite of what your shadow is telling you.
That sounds wonderful, really, in a way. And I think, it sort of relates to, some people have good journaling habits, so it's maybe a mini way of doing something like that. And it's sort of creating an intention for yourself or an affirmation for yourself.
Right. And not just write it, keep looking at it and repeating that if you have to. And if some other incident comes along, whatever your shadow is trying to feed you in the negative, reverse it for yourself. Totally just write it down. You don't have to believe it right away, but the more you write it, the more you think about these things, the more you'll start changing your mindset.
So we have one final tarot card that could also represent the idea of what twines those dark light aspects.
It's really ironic to me that we have Justice reversed here, and we also have the Six of Pentacles reversed.
Wow.
Right? I know.
Now here's what you should do.
I should put it here.
Okay, that's
like
fine
right
for today.
Here.
Yeah, I was going to say in the future maybe center them differently if we use this setup.
If we use this setup again, right? So we'll see.
That's the
Mr. O changes setups like he changes.
I don't know if I want to do this one again. Maybe it should be.
So we'll see.
What was that again?
Six of Pentacles reversed. So again, I think here, instead of dwelling on what you're getting in the negative, you should dwell on the positive things in your, turning it around and saying you are worthy. You do deserve more. And, ultimately, you will learn to stand up for these things in your own life. If you are facing abuse presently, or if you keep putting yourselves in situations, toxic workplaces, and not wanting to leave it behind, or fight what's happening to you, you will start realizing this is not the reality you want. You want what you deserve, right?
In an inverse way, this could be saying like, looking at what it is you feel like you can't share and realizing that maybe you do have to share it. It doesn't have to be all at once. You're not like coming out to everybody, but the idea that maybe you've been holding some things back that you really need to process or to share with others. It's okay if other people know some of this. They don't have to know everything.
And do remember, we are not psychologists. We are not trying to treat you. If you are seriously having issues, they mention cognitive behavioral therapy in here, and that is done by therapists and psychological practitioners. So please seek out help if you need it. If you are in a domestic or sexually abusive situation, please seek out help immediately. If you are in a toxic workplace or some type of situation, if you can't get HR to stand up for you or you're afraid to take something to court, then find another job. Do something positive for yourself. Believe in yourself that you can change your destiny.
A lot of this shadow work really is about you looking at yourself and maybe how you want to see yourself or portray yourself as a victim. And hopefully this will give you some ideas about how you can begin to change that.
And as a final thought here, we spoke a lot about some of the worst case scenarios, whether you're carrying ancestral traumas or real life traumas that are happening to you. But different things can traumatize different people. And so they may not be as big as this, and it may be because you've experienced some things in the past that were bad, that little setbacks in your life could set off this shadow. And so realize that writing them out, doing some of the work on your own may be all that you need to, move yourself in a better direction.
Finally, previous episodes, the previous month's work, are in their own playlist, the Goth Tarot playlist. The current month will be there, but it will also be in the Shadow playlist on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. So that's it. Do you have anything to add? Should we recap anything?
Take one last look at her.
I think just one last look to say that, this is serious business here. This is something that you're allowing to make you feel less than who you truly are. And you're letting yourself continually be victimized by, what has happened to you in the past. And so that it may be setting the stage for you to continue to accept abuse or trauma or sad things as a way of life. And so all of these tools here, I think if you listen to the show, might help you work your way through this.
And of course, you can always listen to it again. Yeah. And we will refer to it again.
So take care, everybody. I guess I'll see you in another month. And Mr. O will see you next week for an update on this working and more shadow work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye.